What's good, family? Welcome back to the channel. In this video right here, we're about to be watching another Shattered Paradise video. Now, we haven't watched one of these in a couple months, but we do know each time we watch a video of theirs, it always delivers. There's always so much truth, authenticity, and just like the secrets of the life that we actually live being revealed. So in this video, we have Satan's Army and the secret celebrity ceremony. Let's get straight into this.
Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid?
Fear God. You fear God, you don't have to fear anything else. This is a pretty long video, so I hope everyone's getting comfortable.
You ever wonder why, when you turn on mainstream media, you see what you see? Through the atonement of our Messiah, we can go before the throne and petition the Father.
If I had 10,000 tongues, I couldn't tell all that the Lord has done for me.
Thank you, Father. Your blessings, mercy, your grace and love abide forever.
Don't go closer.
Before it all fell apart, you could feel it.
Closer.
We live in a time where entertainment has been fully weaponized.
One of America's most dazzling leading ladies, Laverne Cox.
The openly gay hip-hop star Lil Nas X is holding nothing back in his new video for Montero, Call Me By Your Name. The official YouTube video has more than 88 million views. It's biblical imagery and intense eroticism.
MK Ultra. Mind programming.
What happens when your image is being controlled by those who hate you? The crafty counsel.
Charlize Theron is soaking up the sun with her daughters. The Oscar-winning actress shared a rare video of herself on vacation with her kids.
Joining their system is suicide.
Williams told the New York Times in 2017, "The characters that mean the most to me are the ones that damn near kill me. It's a sacrifice I've chosen to make."
So his life is a cautionary tale.
Is there mercy for the man who knows only his ambition?
Corporate-sponsored Satanism is on the rise.
They pretend to love you.
No way. What?
We are being changed. We are all being changed.
Welcome to The Late Show. I'm your host, Stephen Colbert.
As biblical prophecy and predictive programming converge, those without spiritual discernment
Roe v. Wade is dead in Texas.
will be caught in the eye of the storm.
Desperation fills the air.
Hollywood's death
Abortion
agenda.
can be a challenging subject to talk about, especially on a comedy show. Instead, I'll let this expert give his opinion of the man who signed this law, Texas Governor Greg Abbott. Now, what the Texas legislature did here is crazy. Okay, here's the details. On September 1st, a new law went into effect in Texas that bans abortions as early as 6 weeks, a period before many women realize that they're pregnant. But great news for The Handmaid's Tale, who just got a late Emmy nomination for Best Documentary. We got a great show for you tonight.
One group now challenging the law, the Satanic Temple.
Yeah, the non-theistic religious and human rights group argues its members should be exempt from the abortion ban.
Well, the new Texas abortion law continues to face resistance.
The Satanic Temple has filed a letter with the Food and Drug Administration arguing that abortion is a faith-based right of its members. Now, this comes after the heartbeat bill went into effect in Texas, banning abortion after 6 weeks of pregnancy. The only exception is for the woman having a medical emergency that threatens her life.
The Satanic Temple is based in Massachusetts, but has chapters across Texas. The group says its members are exempt from SB 8 under the Texas Religious Freedom Restoration Act, which bans government from infringing on religion. The group's lawyers also sent a letter to the Food and Drug Administration last week, demanding members have access to abortion pills, which they say members use, quote, in a sacramental setting.
They recently sent a letter to the FDA asking the church be allowed access to the abortion-inducing drug for its rituals, and they're working on filing a lawsuit.
We've encountered one argument of, well, abortions are not religious. Well, that's not necessarily the case. The question of whether something is religious or not is up to the person who's bringing the lawsuit. By regulating the context in which the ritual happens, you're necessarily regulating the ritual itself.
Corporate-sponsored Satanism is on the rise. This new cachet, this new arsenal of predictive programming, is not just being written and produced in the traditional sense. It's being conjured, channeled through automatic writing.
Hollywood has taken a page right out of Satan's playbook, with the Cliff Notes and all, jotted in his genocide journal.
Though mainstream American entertainment is a smorgasbord of New World Order programming and social engineering, there's a special, more potent form of satanic eugenics indoctrination specifically crafted for the so-called African American community. This is pure, uncut death on a screen.
And Tyler Perry's latest series about male exotic dancers. It's called All the Queen's Men.
All hail the Queen.
All the Queen's Men.
The Illuminati puppet Tyler Perry and his demon-infested studio is at it again. On behalf of BET, which is owned by Viacom CBS, Mr. Perry is openly invoking the Dionysian cult of masquerade and deception, which you can clearly see here in the show's promotional image. This show portrays and glorifies the image of the 2/3 basket of rotten figs, promoting murder, treachery, infidelity, homosexuality, and all manner of depraved criminality, driven by the lust for inflated fiat Federal Reserve notes, which possess no intrinsic value.
In order for the satanic system to thrive, it is imperative that the children of Israel stay in sin. Why do you think billion-dollar multinational corporations sponsor gratuitous amounts of murder and genocide to one specific demographic?
Welcome to Jimmy Kimmel Live. I'm your guest host, RuPaul, and...
To make sure your nuptials are done properly, we shall hold a ball.
Cinderella, you don't need to go to the ball.
Please, stepmother, I spent weeks making this dress. My future depends on it.
The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God.
I am your fabulous godmother.
We are a stolen people. And instead of putting our best and brightest on the screen for the world to see, they parade around the lowest, most degenerate reprobates they can find in our community. Crafty counsel.
There are two great transformations taking place, one for the wicked and one for the righteous, and no one will be the same.
My next guest agreed to join me tonight on one condition, that I not make her lip sync for her life against Guillermo. So don't let the smooth taste fool you. Please welcome America's drag superstar, Simone.
And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations whither the Lord shall lead thee. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies in want of all things.
Revelation.
Well, earlier this week, actor Marlon Brando met with Jewish leaders to apologize for comments he made on Larry King Live. Among them, that, quote, Hollywood is run by Jews. The Jewish leaders accepted the actor's apology and announced that Brando is now free to work again.
They're doing this to get access to the global population for very, very malevolent reasons.
Major Hollywood Studios.
Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union's daughter couldn't help but be a little starstruck when meeting one of her idols. Zaya Wade fanned out over Michelle Obama this week when the pair teamed up for a...
$666 new laws take effect today here in Texas. So this morning we're discussing some of the most talked about legislation.
This is just one component in a multifaceted, covert biological, chemical, and psychological eugenics operation
There are two great transformations taking place, one for the wicked and one for the righteous, and no one will be the same.
Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
These are the top executives in film, television, music, and social media.
We have to unpack Kanye's album listening party.
Did he really light himself on fire?
And he may have even remarried his ex.
It was a weird event, very weird event.
No child of
Kim Kardashian there to support her field.
Oh, E.T. can confirm it's Kim K, all right. 6 months after she filed for divorce, Kim was hidden under the veil of this Balenciaga couture wedding gown for West's grand finale, where he removed his headscarf, grinned, and then cut to black. Kim's sis Chloe raved about the wild moment. Oh, and Twitter wasn't the only thing lit last night. Yeah, Kanye appeared to set himself ablaze, getting extinguished right before Kim emerged. And there were other surprising and controversial guests. Behind Kanye, embattled musicians Marilyn Manson and DeBaba. Marilyn Manson's first since multiple...
Bro, Marilyn Manson is known as, like, he's a Satanist. Like, he's literally went on stage and burned an entire Bible. That's why it's very questionable as to why Kanye West is even hanging around this person.
Accused him of sexual assault, claims Manson denies.
For years, Marilyn Manson's ties to the Church of Satan.
I think he ripped up the Bible. Either or, one or the other. Either, they're both just as bad.
Have been discussed, but none other than the church themselves appear to have set the record straight. In a recent tweet exchange, one user suggested that Manson was an ordained priest, referring to a famous story involving Church of Satan founder Anton LaVey himself, but the church found the thread and clarified his role. Almost 30 years ago, he was given an honorary priesthood for his real-world accomplishments at the time. That is not ordained, nor is it related to anything he might say decades later, they wrote.
The Donda album experience landing thousands at Soldier Field Thursday. Kanye West lovers eager to hear his latest project. But before you got in, a very special incentive to be up close and personal with the superstar and Chicago native.
Hi guys, how are you? Did you guys want your free COVID vaccination today?
City and state departments of public health creating a makeshift vaccination center with nearly 10,000 COVID shots on hand. Those who signed up got entered into a lottery to get backstage. Michael Airth and his friend Ricky from Utah took the bait. Gates opened at 7 p.m. with bumper-to-bumper traffic surrounding the stadium. Tickets ranging from $100 to a couple $1,000 for the...
You got a question, why were they feeding so badly just to give people this injection? You had Shake Shack giving out free burgers and fries if you were to get it. Krispy Kreme giving out free donuts. Now this is another instance at this Kanye West party.
Television is recruiting for Satan's army.
It's time for you to assume your place on Father's throne.
What's the rush? Becoming God is a big job. Maybe he doesn't want to go in half-cocked.
I should definitely be full-cocked.
This show is letting you know that the social engineers are invoking chaos magic for this segment of the Great Reset.
The world has no God. Clearly, I belong on his couch.
Lucifer, what is that?
That is my throne.
The laws of nature are breaking down, and the apocalypse is nigh.
Bollocks.
There's only one thing we can do.
Vacation in Colombia. Beautiful beaches, mountains of illicit drugs.
None of us know exactly how it's going to end.
Again, they are casting a spell of gender confusion toward the Israelites, trying to influence them to continue breaking the covenant.
Relax, dude. He was like that when I found him. We still have one mystery left to solve.
Oh.
Obviously, this video game was made to appeal to children.
That gotta be one weird video game.
Now to a News 4 exclusive. Investigators make a disturbing discovery inside a Jersey City row home. Farm animals. Only News 4 was there for the raid. The Division of Environmental Health says it found at least 22 farm animals inside the 3-bedroom home on Van Horn Street after receiving a tip from neighbors. Those animals included at least 7 goats, at least 4 chicken carcasses, and a dead pigeon nailed above a door. Emilio Otero is renting the home. He told News 4 he does not sacrifice the...
That person was doing some sort of rituals to have a pigeon nailed to the top of the door.
Animals as part of his Santeria practice.
Exactly.
They're damaging my dwelling that I've...
Sacrifice the animals as part of his Santeria the home. He told News 4 he does not sacrifice the animals as part of his Santeria practice.
They're damaging my dwelling that I've spent so much money. You know, I come from humble beginnings. I started this country. I purchased this house. I live on the same block, and I wanted to get an investment property, and this is what this is showing me. So what was the problem?
That's crazy. What did they have in the house? Bro, imagine owning a property, being a landlord. You come to the property, and that person has 20 goats, 15 chickens run up and down that joint. I'm like, yo, what's going on?
So were there animals in there? Yes.
How many? A lot?
Goats, pigeons, chickens. Tremendous amount of
You need the Holy Spirit in that joint to cleanse that.
But now we have this issue with them sacrificing animals, and I respect everyone's religion, but it's disrupting the neighborhood.
Someone is dumping headless goats into the Chattahoochee River.
Channel 2's Dave Huddleston reports from Cobb County it could be part of a religious ceremony or something else.
We're talking hundreds of decapitated goats in the last couple of years. Not only is it dangerous for the river that many of us use for recreation, it's also the main source of drinking water for many in metro Atlanta.
Hey, what's up? I'm Tony Hawk, and I recently became an ambassador for Liquid Death Mountain Water. Apparently, I didn't read the fine print, and now Liquid Death officially owns my soul. And my blood, too? I don't know, it's very confusing. They're taking my blood, and we're gonna use it for skateboard graphics. So they're gonna mix my blood into the paint and do a limited run of skateboards using my real blood in the graphics? Yeah, so I guess go to liquiddeath.com to get skateboards with my blood in it. So wait, if you have my blood, that means you have my DNA.
Get the Liquid Death skateboard infused with 100% real Tony Hawk today. Wow, you can own your very own piece of Birdman, but hurry. Supplies are extremely limited, so visit liquiddeath.com/hawkblood right now.
Skateboarding legend Tony Hawk has just released a limited edition.
Bro, you can't make this up right here. He's promoting Liquid Death, getting his blood put into different sacrifice paintings. I mean, different skateboard paintings.
Liquid Death skateboard.
Woo!
And get this, he gave 2 vials of blood that they mixed in with the red paint for the 100 skateboards. Now, Tony's not the first star to do this. If you remember something like Lil Nas X.
Oh, the shoes!
Yes! His Satan shoes that he released, they were an unauthorized run of Nike Airs with human blood in the sole of the shoe. So Lil Nas X tweeted about Tony Hawk's skateboard saying, Tony in his Lil Nas X era.
Lil Nas X is expecting. Well, kind of. The latest blessing is the rapper's debut full-length studio album, Montero.
When I'm back up at the top, I wanna hear you say, you don't run from nothing, dog.
Lil Nas X announced his album will drop on September 17th. And the news came with these. Yup, the musician did a full-on maternity shoot to celebrate his baby, sporting a prosthetic bump, flower crown, and even sharing a sonogram. He also posted this reveal to TikTok.
Don't forgive and love away, but
The Illuminati, the crafty council, runs several social engineering death operations simultaneously.
All right, nearly 5 years ago, Lil Nas X was working behind the counter at a Taco Bell. Now he's got a new job, Taco Bell's first ever Chief Impact Officer. It's the latest example of a major brand partnering with a young and edgy celebrity, and a sign that companies are more willing to embrace diverse and sometimes controversial voices.
But what happens when one of their trusted puppets, who promotes one of their death agendas, speaks out against another one of their death programs?
DeBaba has issued an apology to the LGBTQ+ community for his recent comments. The rapper takes to Instagram addressing the statement he made on stage at Rolling Loud Music Festival. DeBaba ends his statement apologizing to the LGBTQ+ community for the hurtful and triggering comments I made.
Even if an artist has been faithful to promote their satanic agendas, one statement of hesitation concerning their eugenics campaign is grounds for the lords of the cancel culture to shame, penalize, and demand the artist go on an apology tour. The Illuminati puppet Nicki Minaj is just the latest example.
Democrats, the vast majority willing to get vaccinated. Nicki Minaj as a weird exception.
It all started Monday night when the unvaccinated singer tweeted, "My cousin in Trinidad won't get the COVID vaccine because his friend got it and
including MSNBC's Joy Ann Reid.
I just gotta skip by because YouTube doesn't like when you talk about that too much.
England's chief medical officer, Chris Whitty, and even Dr. Fauci himself publicly accused Minaj of spreading disinformation and encouraging vaccine hesitancy.
The White House is reaching out to Nicki Minaj as it works to combat vaccine misinformation.
And people like Nicki Minaj, I have to say this. You have a platform, sister, that is 22 million followers. Okay, I have 2 million followers. You have 22 million followers on Twitter. For you to use your platform to encourage our community to not protect themselves and save their lives, my God, sister, you could do better than that. You got that platform. It's a blessing. It's a blessing that you got that people listen to you. And they listen to you more than they listen to me. For you to use your platform to put people in the position of dying from a disease they don't have to die from. Oh my God, as a fan, as a hip hop fan, as somebody who was your fan, I'm so sad that you did that. So sad that you did that, sister. Oh my God.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is do your own research on the entire injection, okay? Because I don't want to be spreading misinformation. But hey, look, I never got it. You know what I'm saying?
Nancy, why did the White House decide to engage with Nicki Minaj in the first place? And what do we know about her current vaccination status?
DeBaba from their lineups did his offensive remarks and called to end stigmas. HIV, misinformation, and homophobia.
Not engaging in lewd homosexual acts at his concert venue. This small statement against their LGBT population control agenda cost him. He lost endorsements. Festivals canceled his shows. But yet, when this same artist goes around on behalf of his multi-billion-dollar corporate masters promoting mass murder and genocide of the so-called African-American community, he is given awards and celebrated.
Cultural imperialism, the phrase in most of the placards, broadly refers to the exercise of domination in cultural relationships. In such cases, the values, practices, and meaning of a powerful foreign culture are imposed upon one or more native cultures.
And as you might be able to see in the background, the U.S. Embassy continues to fly the LGBT flag, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender flag, in breach of the Vienna Convention, Articles 31E, Article 20, and Article 41. Right? They are being hostile towards our laws, our culture, and our own democratic system. Instead of flying the Jamaican flag for emancipation, they have decided to fly that flag, and that is an insult to our country.
Philippa Davies, advocacy officer for the Jamaica Coalition for a Healthy Society, says the flag represents life practices that threatens the Jamaican culture and the teachings of the Bible. She says it also affects the health of the society.
You have to understand what that multicolor flag represents. It represents normalizing perverse sexual behaviors and lifestyle choices, behaviors and lifestyles that lead to disease and death. Our Christian duty is to speak the truth in love.
Protesters say they've been peacefully protesting that the flag be taken down since the day it was raised, but are shocked it remains on the flagpole up to Emancipendence Week. Efforts to contact the U.S. consulate and a member of the LGBTQ group on Friday proved futile. However, the protesters say they will continue to stand against the flying of the rainbow-colored flag, describing it as a symbol of disrespect on Jamaican soil.
Article 20 specifically says the only flag that should fly is their national flag. The LGBT flag is not their national flag. Their own people have not agreed to that at all, okay? And so they're in breach of it. They need to be held accountable. And I challenge anybody from the U.S. Embassy to debate me this on a national stage.
And for children, prolonged exposure to this weaponized military-grade propaganda may result in irreparable damage, not only to a child's psychological health, but to their spirit, their very soul.
They're employing an inverted form of psychological alchemy, where you take the precious gold of a child's mind and convert it into the lowest form of base metal, full of dross and impurities. But their time is coming to an end.
An online video posted by an Orange County teacher suggesting her students say the Pledge of Allegiance to the Pride flag has now gone viral. NBC4's Vicky Vargas has more about the teacher's status at school today.
I haven't heard that one before.
The sign outside Back Bay Monte Vista High looks like a Memorial Day display. It is surrounded by dozens of small American flags. There are just over 160 students at this alternative education high school. But all of this red, white, and blue is in response to a TikTok video posted Friday by teacher Kristen Pitson about how she handles the Pledge of Allegiance in her classroom.
So my class decided to stand but not say the words. Totally fine. Except for the fact that my room does not have a flag. It used to be there, but I took it down during COVID because it made me uncomfortable. And I packed it away and I don't know where, and I haven't found it yet. But my kid today goes, hey, it's kind of weird that we just stand and then, we say it to nothing. And I'm like, oh, well, I gotta find it. Like, I'm working on it. I got you. In the meantime, I tell this kid, we do have a flag in the class that you can pledge your allegiance to. And he looks around and he goes, oh, that one?
Bro, we have teachers, modern day teachers, that are saying the American flag makes them feel uncomfortable. At that point, you could say anything to that individual. You're making me uncomfortable. Like, they could say anything makes them uncomfortable after that point. You live in America. Like, she lives in America. How's the American flag gonna make you uncomfortable when you live in America? That doesn't make sense. I would usually say make it make sense, but there's no way you could possibly make that one make sense. Crazy.
Shame on you. and you should not be teaching.
Dozens of Natomas Unified parents are voicing outrage over allegations that an AP history teacher attempted to indoctrinate students with Antifa ideals at Inderkum High School. The left-wing movement against fascism is known for using both nonviolent and violent militaristic tactics.
Everybody in Sacramento is not okay with this. We don't want this in any district.
I have 180 days to turn them into revolutionaries.
How do you do that? How do you scare
The concern comes after this video surfaced online, filmed by the far-right activist group Project Veritas, which claims to investigate and expose corruption, often by filming people when they're unaware.
This is just too much.
While some current and former students are expressing support for the teacher on social media, district officials say they've also received reports from students that the teacher in question believes students will move to the left as a result of his class.
So in light of all this, what must we do? What does the Bible say believers are to do when in captivity or occupation?
Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, unto all that are carried away captives, whom I have caused to be carried away from Jerusalem unto Babylon. Build ye houses, and dwell in them, and plant gardens, and eat the fruit of them. Take ye wives, and beget sons and daughters, and take wives for your sons, and give your daughters to husbands, that they may bear sons and daughters, that ye may be increased there, and not diminished.
We need to establish places where those who share the faith can live together, fellowship, and gather.
For those who are sincerely striving to keep God's commandments under the grace and mercy of Christ, through true obedience and prayer, we have faith that the Father will grant these places a true hedge of protection. And since we all have nearly been destroyed by the trappings of the satanic society, it's time for us to take a stand for our children. We must face the fact that it took us decades of being deceived and assimilated into this demonic culture before we began to develop the spiritual armor we needed to resist the snares of this cultural cesspool of death. But our kids don't have that spiritual armor.
Exactly. Our children do not have the spiritual armor it takes to resist the relentless demonic onslaught they are bombarded with on a daily basis, especially in these satanic indoctrination centers they call schools.
Yeah. And this is why Satan's kingdom is always gaining ground. Because every time one sinner repents after decades of destructive behavior, 3 or 4 of our children are ensnared by the tempter, and society just waxes worse and worse.
It is time for us to truly walk in the power and authority Christ has given us and reclaim our children. The scripture says,
Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities.
Yes. Gather yourselves together, O nation not desired.
The time is now. We must come together and create places where we can give our children a fighting chance.
Remember, faith without works is dead, and the kingdom of heaven is within you.
What we need is our own communities. We could start with 50 to 200 acres, hopefully with 2 or 3 houses already situated on the property. This would be enough space to build additional housing and other structures on the land.
And one of the structures we envision is a large multi-purpose fellowship hall, which can serve as a spiritual center for the community. And for the children, we need a beautiful building to function as a school where the children of the saints can learn in a righteous environment, away from evil curriculums, harmful vaccines, and moral decay. We also are envisioning large organic gardens, which would help the entire community with health and self-reliance, cutting back on the cost of food and providing food security.
There are so many hardworking disciples of Christ who are drowning in the ever-rising cost of living, paying exorbitant rents and mortgages with no end in sight, and with the threat of many employers mandating this vaccination, the idea of righteous community living has some very practical financial advantages. With the power of like-minded commandment-keeping believers combining resources, we could significantly lower the cost of living and be free from the burden of debt.
Alright guys, we're gonna leave that right there. But like I always say in these videos, it's very revealing. We're able to see the different ways that the devil's working through certain people, through the media. And there was just certain things that shocked me, like the Converse thing, and it was clearly like so satanic. And then Satanists say that they're non-theistic, meaning that they don't believe in any like higher power. But at the end of the day, it's like you cannot believe in God, but then they're behaving as if they're their own God. So if anything, they believe that they're their own God and they're able to make those decisions. But then at the same time, you'll have a Satanist ripping up the Bible, which is like, if there wasn't a God, then that right there wouldn't have no weight to you. It's just, it gets confusing. But just seeing how the media is really trying to program people is the reason why I watch this video, so we can be aware of that and so we don't fall into that. Hope you guys did enjoy this video. Make sure you do smash the like button, subscribe, turn on post notifications. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one the same way you're going to catch me in the next one. Peace. Love y'all.